Hi BookTube, my name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with a secret vlog. This is going to be the first of a new series. It's funny. I've already started one of these for another set of books. So essentially, I am part of the Harlequin influencer program. So I am in contact with a lovely woman at Harlequin, and she reaches out, of course, to a lot of influencers, for lack of a better term, people on Instagram, TikTok, BookTube, stuff like that, and are like, hey, these are the new Harlequin books coming out this month that we want you to promote. So you can sign up for them if they're of interest to you. You can sign up for all of them. You can sign up for one of them. Two of them, it doesn't matter. I always sign up for all of them because, as you guys know, I do not discriminate. I love all of the Harlequin lines equally. So, last week, I got a box of the ones that are coming out in May. The ones that are going to be like an end of April release date. And super excited. And then today, my husband comes upstairs. He's like, you got some more boxes from Harlequin. And of course, his first question was, did you place another order? And I'm like, no, I actually didn't. So they sent me, these are delayed because of supply chain issues and things like that I know we're all familiar with dealing with. These books actually come out next Tuesday. So this vlog is going to be delayed. So at the date that I'm filming this introduction clip, it is the 23rd of March. Sorry, I was just checking my calendar. It's the 23rd of March. So my plan is for this vlog is to read all four of these books. So I'm going to read all four of these books and I'm going to vlog as I finish each one and let you guys know my thoughts on it. And that's what I'm also doing for the vlog that I already started for the books that I got last week. The ones that are coming out at the end of April for May releases. And I've already actually also signed up for the May ones. So I'm super excited. I love doing this. I think that this is just so much fun. So yeah, so I thought I'd show you guys, to open up this vlog, I'm going to show you guys the books. And then on my handy dandy Spin the Wheel app, because I think this is super fun, I have loaded all four books onto the wheel here. And what I'm going to do is spin the wheel, and that's going to pick our first book. So that's how I'm going to pick which book to read next. So right now I am reading one that is for the next vlog, but when I'm done that one, then I'll be starting on these ones. So like I said, I thought I'd show you the four books. So the first one we got here is a Harlequin's historical. This is The Highlander Stolen Bride by Madeline Martin. Looks really good. And then we have Her Easter Prayer, so appropriate, coming up for April, by the always delightful Lee Tobin McLean. I love her books. They are some of my absolute favorites. These love-inspired covers are just a delight. Cannot wait to read that one. We have an intrigue. I love the intrigue books. You guys know this. By the great B.J. Daniels, we have Murder Gone Cold. This is a Colt Brothers Investigations novel. And this is embossed and everything, you guys. This is fantastic. And then last but not least, speaking of great, all these authors, fantastic. Brenda Jackson. You cannot go wrong with a Brenda Jackson book. We have What Happens on Vacation. So there's the fourth book. So like I said, these are the four for the month of... So like I said, by the time you guys see this vlog, all of these books will already be released. So go ahead and pick them up in your own stores if you're interested. But there's the four of them. So let's spin the wheel and see which book we will be reading first. So we will spin. There we go. We're starting with the Easter book. Yay! Her Easter Prayer by Lee Tobin McLean. So that's where we're going to be starting this vlog, you guys. So that is it. This is just the little introduction, just the little opening clip. I'm going to be reading that one next. I'll probably be starting it in the next day or so. And I will pop back on here again when I finished it so I can give you guys a full review. And at that point, we will pick our next book. And that's how this vlog is gonna go, my friends. So until my next clip, I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Hi friends, happy Sunday. Today is the 3rd of April and I am coming to you with my next clip for this secret vlog that I'm doing to talk about the April 2022 releases from Harlequin. So I finished one of the books yesterday, Her Easter Prayer by Lee Tobin McLean. This is, I think, the fourth book in the Canine Companion series, and it is part of the Love Inspired line from Harlequin. which is their inspirational romance. It's faith-based romance. So this book was really cute. I ended up giving it 4 stars. It was a very, very sweet story. Dealt with a lot of very difficult topics, but did so in a really in a good way. Is about it's hard to describe. This book is, of course, as I said, it's an inspirational romance, so it's very faith-based. And the characters in this one have their beliefs, and it's not that they feel like they're being, for lack of a better term, punished for what happened. But like it's not a question of faith in this book. It's more of a question of self in this book, which I really liked. So essentially this is the story of Emily and Dev. And many years earlier, about 6 years earlier, prior to the start of the story, Emily lost her husband and son in a tragic fire. I don't want to get too much into the fire itself because information about that is released as you read the book, and she has been suffering with the aftermath of that, the PTSD from that, for many years. She does have a dog named Lady, who is her emotional support dog. So that's why this is the Canine Companion series. All the dogs in these books are companions in some way, shape, or form to a trauma or something that has happened to the person. So Lady is helping her with the trauma from this fire, the PTSD from this fire. So she works at a school called Bright Tomorrows, which is for troubled boys, boys with learning disabilities, boys who might have gotten into some not horrible things, like, minor offenses that deem them maybe not the best for the public school system. And it takes place in Colorado. So she is the reading teacher there, and she meets Landon, who is the new little boy in the school, and he's having some reading difficulties. His father's name is Dev, and his father is actually the new caretaker, janitor, handyman at the school. So they have an attraction to each other, but of course, not Emily and the student, but Emily and Dev, Emily and the single dad. And he is carrying a secret of his own, which is that he doesn't know how to read. He's never learned how to read. He may have a learning disability, much like his son. So that starts to reveal itself. But of course, he doesn't want to admit that to Emily because he's embarrassed, right? He spent his entire childhood in foster care, being moved from house to house to house, and it was just never picked up on, and he was able to muddle his way through and graduate high school, which sadly is something that does happen to a lot of people. Especially when people move around or what have you. It's sad to hear of that happening, to be completely honest. So that is their story. It's the two of them kind of working through their own issues and finding each other. It was very, very sweet. I liked it a lot. It does, like I said, it's called her Easter Prayer. So there is a little part of the book that does take place at Easter. It starts off in the early spring, kind of goes into the summer. But it's really, really cute. I liked it a lot. I really, really did. Like I said, 4 stars, and I highly recommend that you pick this one up. So let's go ahead and pick our next read. So we've got the spinning wheel here. So let's go ahead and spin it and see which book we have to read next. Sorry, you can kind of see me in the... We have The Highlander Stolen Bride. Ooh, we have a historical, everybody. We're reading a historical next. Yay. So this is by Madeline Martin. And the back of it says, kidnapped Elspeth Macmillan. Kidnapping... I can read. I've got my glasses on. Kidnapping Elspeth Macmillan on her way to an arranged marriage is the only way for the new laird, Callum Campbell, to avoid more bloodshed and bargain peace for his people. Callum expects her fury, but doesn't expect the feisty lass to break through his defenses into his heart. With war raging between their families, will they ever be able to yield to love? This is part of the Highland Alliances series. Again, a Harlequin historical novel. I will report back as soon as I'm done this one, you guys, and I'll talk to you then. Bye. Hi, friends. Today is the 11th of April, and I finally finished another book for the April releases. So I have 2 more to go, and my goal is to finish both of those in the next week or so. So this one took me a little bit longer than I had anticipated. The Highlander's Stolen Bride by Madeline Martin. I feel like I need to, explain a whole bunch of things when in reality you guys literally just saw the last clip. but for me it was like 9 days ago or 8 days ago. So yeah, I finished this one yesterday and I gave it 3.5 stars. Now, I'm not the biggest fan. I love historicals, but I'm not the biggest fan of the medieval time period. But this one I did enjoy. I enjoyed it more than some of the other ones that I have read. The reason I enjoyed this one is our main character, Elspeth, E-L-S-P, Elspeth. She was a very strong female lead. She wasn't taking crap from anybody. She wanted to train to be a warrior and things like that. So it was really good. So essentially the plot of this story is that she is kidnapped going to her betrothed castle. This is in medieval Scotland. And she's been, of course, like I said, betrothed to this guy, this friend of the family. Like, they're trying to merge clans, essentially. And she's kidnapped by our male lead here on the front, whose name was Callum, sorry. The names are a little different than what I'm used to, so that's why, you know. And I'm usually reading a whole bunch of things at once, so sometimes names get mixed up for me. So anyway, she's kidnapped and she's taken from Scotland to Ireland because that's where his clan has been banished to, if you will. They've lost all their land in Scotland. This whole clan of people, they're dying. The land is no good in Ireland. They can't farm. They can't. It's not the way of life that they're used to, essentially. And they kidnap her because they're hoping to sway her brothers, who are now the head of their clan, to let them come back to Scotland, essentially. So, of course, during that time, the two of them fall in love, and the story kind of goes from there. So my biggest reason why I'm not a huge fan of the medieval is the violence. There is quite a bit of violence in this. People dying in battle and things like that. It's never been a big thing for me. It's not anything that I particularly enjoy. Surprisingly, though, I do really like Outlander. But I think that there's a lot, like, it's spread out a bit more, the fighting and the war and the violence and things like that. Whereas this, it's a little bit more contained. This was also a very, very spicy book. So if there's those of you out there who prefer your romance on the spicier side, you will definitely enjoy this one. I did like it at the end of the day. You know, I don't know if it's one I would have gravitated towards myself, but because the publicity team sent it to me, I of course read it for this little project and I did enjoy it. So now I will probably be picking up more medieval ones. Now, this is part of a trilogy. It's the third book. So we had the other two brothers' books, and they were written by different authors, which I really do like when they do that because it really does give a different voice to the different characters. So yeah, so I liked it quite a bit. Excuse me. Sorry about that, you guys. So I did enjoy this book. I do want to pick up not only more by this author, but more medieval books in the future. So yeah, because I finished this last night and it is now mid-afternoon, I usually like to do my reading of these books in the morning. I went ahead and spun the wheel for the next book. There was only 2 left. So I did pick up this one next. Sorry, I didn't spin the wheel in front of you guys. But the one that came up next was What Happens on Vacation by Brenda Jackson. So I am already, forgot to move my bookmark. I am already on about to start chapter 5 in this book. So I'm very excited. This is a presents novel, or excuse me, a desire novel, and it says what happens in Napa Valley stays in Napa Valley. So I don't have to read the back of this because I've already started it, so I kind of know the premise of this one. It's about our main character, Jessup, and Paige is the female lead. She's an actress, and she just had a pretty spectacular breakup with a guy that she was dating who's now, I guess, on the cover of People magazine as the sexiest bachelor actor or whoever it is, you know, the sexiest man alive, those issues. And he cheated on her, so she's not too impressed with him. So they broke up. She doesn't want to get back together with him, but of course the media's all up in their faces, and he made a quote saying, "Oh no, she definitely wants to get back to me. We just hit a little bump in the road. She wants nothing to do with this guy." So Jessup, who's an old family friend, they are both spending about a month in Napa Valley at a mutual friend's resort, if you will, and the two of them decide to do a fake relationship for the media. So that's the plot of this one, and so far I am really enjoying it. I will be honest and say I'm listening to it on audio because it is out. I grabbed a copy from Hoopla, so I'm very excited about that. I really like the narrator. So yeah, so I'm enjoying this one quite a bit, and I will definitely update you guys as soon as I am done this book, which should hopefully be in just a few days. So I will talk to all of you then. Bye, everybody. Hi friends, happy Thursday. Today is the 14th of April and I am here with another review for you guys. So today I finished reading What Happens on Vacation by the great Brenda Jackson. This is the fourth book in the Westmoreland Legacy, The Outlaws, an Outlaws novel. So this is about Jessup Outlaw, and he is a distant cousin, I think, of the Westmorelands. So this is a branch-off series of the Westmoreland series. So this was a great book. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was about, like I said, Jessup, who goes by Jess, and this woman by the name of Paige. And they're acquaintances. They've met at a couple different functions with the Westmorelands. Neither one of them is really technically, like, they're friends of the family, essentially. So anyway, she is a very famous actress, and he is a senator from Alaska, actually. And they meet up at one of the Westmoreland houses or something in Napa Valley for a little R&R, a little rest and relaxation. He's there for a little R&R, and she is there to kind of get away from an ex-jerk of a boyfriend. This ex-boyfriend cheated on her. He's also a famous actor. He's like listed as sexiest man alive or something like that, and he's telling the press that they're going to get back together and that it was a mistake and she wants nothing to do with him. So when Paige meets up with Jess in Napa Valley, the two of them kind of hatch this plan to kind of have this like fling, if you will. Both for themselves, for their own vacation enjoyment, as well as to trick the paparazzi, essentially, that she has moved on to a new relationship. And the story goes from there. This is hot and spicy, which is atypical of Brenda Jackson, also typical, of course, of the Desire line. I really like this one. I have to be honest, I listened to this on audio. Hoopla had it on audio, which was fantastic. The narrator did a fantastic job on this one. I really liked it. So yeah, so I absolutely recommend this one. And I jumped into this one not reading any of the previous 4 books in this series, and I haven't even really read that many of the Westmoreland series either. Now, you do kind of get bombarded with characters, but if you just try and focus on the 2 characters in this book, that's really all you need to concern yourself with. Everyone else is just kind of there. They're mentioning characters from previous books, and I think that's more for people who have read through the entire series. And it's like, oh, how's so-and-so doing? And, you know, blah, blah, blah. But as a reader, if you're just picking this one up, just focus on Jess and Paige. That's all you need to worry about is Jess and Paige. You know, the other characters are just kind of, I don't want to use the term filler, but I think you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this one. So I will be starting tomorrow the final book for this vlog, and then this vlog will go up next week. This is Murder Gone Cold by B.J. Daniels, which is the first in a Colt Brothers investigation series, and I cannot wait to read this one. It's almost like they knew the best was for last for me. I love the intrigue novels. I love any romantic suspense novels. So yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to this one. So I will report back as soon as I have completed this book. Hi BookTube, happy April 19th. It is a Tuesday, and I am coming to you with the final update for this reading vlog. So this vlog has been so much fun. I have really enjoyed reading these books kind of in secret, if you will, and not sharing them with you guys in my weekly reading vlogs, but instead putting them here and kind of really highlighting these books that were sent to me via the publicity team over at Harlequin. So going forward, I mentioned this in another video, that I will still be continuing to do these videos every month. However, the Harlequin publicity team or the influencer team or whatever you want to call it, they're still sending me books, and I will still be sharing those with you guys because that is always fun. But they're not necessarily going to be the ones that I'm going to be reading for these vlogs. I do my Harlequin, or I'm going to be doing my Harlequin anticipated reads again. I started a few weeks ago picking my books for May. So if you guys have not watched that video yet, please do, and go and vote on which books you guys would like to hear me talk about. And then I will do this video in May for those May releases, sharing those books with you guys that you all picked. You know, for me to read, essentially. So yeah, fun. I really enjoy this, and in a way it's like you guys get to decide what books you want to hear me talk about here on the channel. So the 4th and final book for the month of April. So we have Murder Gone Cold by the great B.J. Daniels. This is the first book in the Colt Brothers investigation series. I believe this is going to be a 4-book series because there's 4 brothers. That's my guess. Could be more, could be less. We don't know. But anyway, April 2022 release date, of course, it's a brand new release. It is a Harlequin intrigue novel. The Harlequin intrigue novels are romantic suspense, and they put the mystery before the romance. So if you read the romantic suspense novels from Harlequin, the romance usually comes first and they're a slightly higher heat level. The heat level in these books are almost non-existent. In this case, not at all. Like, the most that we had in this book was a kiss. So, still, I enjoyed it. So, at the end of the day, I gave this book 4 stars. It is the story of James and Lorelei. By the way, I love that name. And he was really sweet on her in high school. He had a crush, let's be honest. And then he left, and he is one of 4 brothers. His father was a private investigator who died many years earlier, rather tragically. I think his car got, they believe that his car got stalled on train tracks. That's all I'm really going to say about that for right now. I'll get back to that in a second. So him and his brothers all went and joined the rodeo circuit. And he's back home now. He's like taking a break and he doesn't know what he wants to do. So he decides to start investigating his father's last case that he was working on about the death of this little boy in this small town. And so it's a cold case. So he's investigating. James is investigating this. And along the way, he runs back into Lorelei, and the two of them, she's not exactly friendly with him at the very beginning. So it's not really a second chance romance because they weren't together when they were younger. Like, he was just sweet on her. But, and then of course now it's a bit of a, I wouldn't call them enemies because he's still really like, but she's not too sure of his intentions. Let's put it that way. So the bulk of this story is the investigation of that cold case, along with a bunch of other things that are kind of going on. Seems like there's a very crooked sheriff in town, and, you know, talking again about James's father's death. And of course, in all of that, there is this romance as well. So like I said, I gave this book 4 stars. I really liked it. I'm a big fan of BJ Daniels. Anything that she puts out, I am absolutely going to read because they're fantastic books and I really, really like them. But I do have to say that in this one, the romance was like, I'm listening to the book because I did listen to this on audio. I believe Corey Snow was the narrator on this one, and I got it from Hoopla from my library. I was able to listen to it. But it's like I'm listening to it going, oh yeah, wait, there's a romance in here too. So the romance, like, they go on one date and then it's very much insta-love towards the end, which I didn't absolutely love. Sorry for lack of a better word. But, you know, I mean, it was fine. And the cold case and the mystery definitely carried this story. And that's what I was reading it for. It's like, okay, yeah, the romance is there. That's great. The two of them are kind of having this fun little bickering back and forth. And you're seeing a lot of things from her perspective. And things like that. So, you know, like stuff that's involving her stepmother might be involved in this cold case. So you're seeing parts of the book from her perspective and stuff. And anyway, back to the father, like this mysterious death, like they ruled it as being this accidental death, like I said, like I think on the train tracks in his car kind of a situation. But the brothers all believe, or James is starting to believe now, that that might not be what has happened. So my thought process is that over the course of these 4 books, or however many books in this series, they're going to talk more about and try and figure out what actually happened to the dad. And I think it's got something to do with this crooked sheriff or whoever it is in town. So yeah, there's a really great cast of characters in this town. And, you know, normally I'm someone who doesn't necessarily read a lot of books in order, but I do have to say that I think that this is going to be one of those series that you do kind of need to read in order because of that overarching plot line involving the father's death. So that's just my 2 cents on that. So yeah, so I do recommend this one. Give it a read. So to wrap up this quick little vlog, very quick, talking about all 4 of the books. I kind of put them in order from least most favorite to most favorite because I did enjoy all of them. So coming in spot number 4 with a 3.5 star rating, we have The Highlander Stolen Bride by Madeline Martin, a historical, medieval historical. I really enjoyed it. My issue with it was a little too fighty, too much fighting for me. I'm not a fan of that, but outside of that, the story was fantastic. I really liked it. Coming in spot number 3, it was Her Easter Prayer by Lee Tobin McLean. Love her as an author. This was such a great book. I gave this one 4 stars. Really, really sweet, faith-based romance. Highly recommend. Coming in spot number 2, of course, the one I just talked about, Murder Gone Cold by the great B.J. Daniels. If you want a good romantic suspense, check out this one, or just check out anything from B.J. Daniels' backlist. You will not be disappointed. And coming in spot number 1 was What Happens on Vacation by the great Brenda Jackson. Part of the Westmoreland series. This is a great vacation, fling, romance, fake dating, all the things. Very, very hot and spicy. High heat level on this one. Cannot recommend this one enough. So all of these books, definitely I suggest that you check them out. They should be available now in your stores. And if not, of course, you can get them digitally from your e-retailer of choice, or you can get them from the harlequin.com website if you're interested. So until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.